Alright, let's take a quick look inside the ambulance. Here's the main door on the side. Whenever we be going through, in and out. One thing I do like about this, it does have a sliding panel. You can open the window here if you want. It's a little stiff, but there you go. I was fully expecting that to be just a sealed unit. Alright, looking inside, we already take the chair out of it. Used to be a chair mounted right there that the EMT would sit in. And you could spin around and look forward and back. We got cabinetry over here. A little cabinet up at the top with some switches to control the door locks. This particular panel here used to be, technically still is, a locking cabinet, but we're going to take that out. We're going to put the refrigerator right here. Still working the details of what size refrigerator we want. I'm going to leave it open for now so I don't... Alright. Oh, here's a shelf. We're going to take this upper section out. We've already taken some of the wiring out of it. There's a lockable cabinet over here. It's sitting on the back shelf. I'll show it to you later. Looking at all the power in here. We got the shore power hooked up to it. Took the drawer out. It's sitting right there on the floor in front of it. Did some cleaning with that. Had a seat built into it here. Climb up in here. There we go. We took some of the cushions out. We're going to do some work with the cabinetry back here. I'll go into more detail with that later. Got some upper cabinets up here. What appears to be a gurney strap. I'm not really sure. Panel here used to have a clock in it. We took that out because the clock was completely dead. The batteries were long past expired. And an oxygen tank pressure gauge. I'm going to leave that gauge in there for now, for no good reason. Got some cabinets up here, obviously original to the ambulance. If you're not familiar with the ambulance cabinets, they do have sliding doors on the front of them, but they also have, if you look down in here, these little latches on both sides. And if you can hold both of them open, try to hold there we go. The whole thing opens up. So you can get all kinds of stuff in and out of there. If you want to get that shelf out of there, put larger things in there. There we go. Not all of them do it. The little one back here does not do it. Taller cabinet back here. The lower section does not. The upper section does. But go into more detail with these two cabinets later. We're going to make some modifications. But tons of storage inside of here. Lots and lots of space. I got this cover panel. We'll get to what that goes to later. The back doors from the inside out. The cranium panel. I've banged my head on that panel so many times it's not funny. Got some door lock buttons, which is pretty handy. You can lock the doors and cabinets from the inside. The other side, we have the bench. Underneath the bench, both of those seat cushions will fold up. There's all kind of space underneath there. I'll go into that later, maybe. Let's see. These power panels, these were interesting. I'm not really sure what they used these for, but it's 12 volts, constant hot power, and there's 3 or 4 of them scattered around the vehicle. And they're hot no matter what. If the battery's in it, they're on. Even if the battery disconnect is turned off, they're still hot. The door, back to the cabinetry. It does have a full pass-through. It's got that door will shut, obviously. You can kind of crawl right through there. And then we have the electrical panel, which will probably be a few videos of its own. We got a whole relay panel in here. Got a bunch of other things in here. I still haven't figured out what some of these boxes are, like that specific one right there. We have a very old style circuit breaker that's getting pulled out and replaced with something made, I don't know, in this century. And power charger to power the charge the batteries. So when you plug it into what we call shore power, this will keep the batteries topped up. That's probably going to get replaced with a more modern unit. Like I said, this thing was made in the 90s. Technology's definitely progressed since then. And more things over here. I'm told that's a battery isolator. So in theory, we can separate the ambulance body batteries from the truck battery. which it doesn't have one yet, but I do want to separate the two. That way if you run all the battery out in the coach part of it, you can still have the battery to start the truck and get off the side of the road. Some flash units. There's all kinds of flashers in this thing. We'll go into some of that later. We have heat. We have heat and AC from the truck unit. It's got an extra large unit on it that will provide heat and AC to the entire ambulance. We've tested the heat. It works fine. Don't know about the AC yet because it's December here in Maryland and I don't need AC yet. We have a control panel back here for whoever's sitting here to control the heat and AC. And we have lights panel. We'll get into the lights a little bit later. We've got plenty of light back here. And then, like I said, we got shore power if it's plugged in. It's disconnected right now. And we've got 3 different plugs back here. One of them is this round plug again. We have a cigarette lighter one that's old and junky. And this really unique looking one here has a flip top cover on it and some sort of weird pin in it. But this is 12 volts as well. So we're going to pull a couple of those out and put one nicer panel in there, make that look a little bit neater. Let's see. Like I said, cab front end, we'll get to that later.